Hey everyone, welcome back to Masonzero MTG. Modern Horizons 3 is a super powerful set, and that includes the commons, which means pauper cubes have opportunities for some pretty cool upgrades. In this video, I'm going to take a look at 5 of my favorites and why I think you should try them out. Accursed Marauder is a super powered fleshbag Marauder, and I think it's better in just about every way, unless you're concerned about it being too powerful. For starters, it costs just 2 mana instead of 3, and you only lose 1 power from its stats. The sacrifice ability is also significantly better, as instead of sacrificing any creature, the Accursed Marauder forces each player to sacrifice a non-token creature. This is a clear upgrade, and getting to cast it a turn earlier, or at least 1 mana cheaper, could be a huge swing in your favor. Jolted Awake just happens to work really well with Accursed Marauder. For 1 mana, you get 2 energy and can pay energy equal to the mana value of a creature or artifact in your graveyard to return it to the battlefield. Plus, it has cycling. The easiest comparison here is Unearth, which can return a creature with mana value 3 or less. With no other energy sources, Jolted Awake is slightly more limited in what creatures it can bring back, but being able to also return an artifact is a nice addition. I think it's easy to see the energy and feel like you need more support for it to make it work, but I think this card stands on its own just fine. Would you run this alongside Unearth or in place of it? I'm running both, as I have a black-white reanimate theme in my pauper cube, and so far it's been nice. I did a 3-person sealed recently, just to kind of test it, because that's who I had around, and Unearth did not make it into the pool, but I did manage to draft Jolted Awake, and did a black-white reanimation deck that did okay. Nixborn Hydra is a really strong option for finishing a game out. You'll often want to bestow it on another creature, granting it reach, trample, and a ton of power and toughness. But of course, if the creature dies, the Hydra falls off and becomes a big creature in and of itself. This is also the exact kind of card you want to top deck in the late game that can get through a board stall. Basking Broodscale may be a contentious pick because it's been a topic of conversation for infinite combos even in Pauper. The easiest way to do the infinite combo in Pauper is the otherwise unimpressive Sadistic Glee, which puts a counter on the enchanted creature when a creature dies. So you sacrifice one of your spawns, get a counter, make another spawn, and repeat the process. But assuming you don't do this combo because you don't want to run a card just for this, it's still very playable. At its base, Broodscale is a 2-mana 2/2 that can become a 3/3 with an Eldrazi spawn token for just 2 additional mana. While Adapt cannot be activated multiple times unless the counter is removed somehow, the token is still made whenever you put a counter on it. So a green-based counters theme goes well with it, with cards like Snakeskin Veil, Bannerhide Krushock, or Travel Preparations. The Landscape cycle is probably the most obvious addition to Pauper Cubes. It's a full cycle of common lands that enter untapped, tap for colorless, can fetch a basic land from among 3 different types, and can cycle for 3 total mana, 1 of each of its colors. I think they are most similar to the new Capenna Tri-lands that sacrifice and search upon entering, or the Panorama lands from Shards of Alara, but again, this is a full cycle of all 10 wedges and shards, and are honestly better than both in many ways. You get the mana instantly at the cost of it being colorless, and it can be cycled away in the late game. It's really all upside. So those are my top 5 picks for Pauper Cube from Modern Horizons 3, but there are a ton of great options, so please let me know in the comments what you're trying out. Here's what I'm trying. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe.